The Union Research Outpost 9 floated near the edge of known space. It was small, built into the side of a cold asteroid. Outside, space stretched in all directions, dark and silent. Inside, life followed a daily routine. Scientists worked, engineers repaired old systems, and guards kept watch for anything unusual. Toma, a young human pilot, had been stationed there for just 3 months. He didn't complain. He liked the silence of space. Unlike other bases, this one didn't have many officers or rules. That gave Toma time to work on his small ship, read old mission reports, and practice his flight skills. One morning, alarms rang across the station. Toma rushed to the control room. The radar showed a broken alien vessel drifting nearby. The ship was badly damaged. Pieces floated around it. There were no signals or signs of life at first. "Send a drone," the commander said. The drone flew toward the alien craft. Cameras showed dark hallways, sparking wires and cracked walls. It looked like there had been a fire inside. Then, in one dark corner, the camera picked up movement. "There's someone alive," said the medic, reading weak biosigns. Without waiting for orders, Toma suited up. He flew a shuttle to the wreck and entered the ship. Smoke filled the air. The power was failing. Toma moved quickly, following the drone's signal. At last, he found her. Woman lay against the wall, her skin pale silver, her hair a soft blue. She was clearly not human. Her clothes were torn, and a green burn mark stretched across her left arm. Her eyes fluttered open as Toma approached. "You're safe now," he said. Her lips moved, but no words came out. Still, her hand reached toward his face. Her fingers brushed his temple. Toma froze. He felt a sudden wave of warmth in his mind. A voice echoed inside him, clear and calm. "You are my bondmate." Toma stumbled back, confused. She fell unconscious. He brought her back to the station. The doctors worked for hours. They said she was Talari, a rare alien race known for their telepathic gifts. Their people were peaceful and private. Most Talari lived far from Union space. It was strange to find one alone this far out. Toma stayed near the medbay, waiting for news. When she finally woke, the doctors let him speak to her. She looked at him with calm, bright eyes. "Your name is Toma," she said softly. He nodded. "And you're?" "Alari," she replied. "You saved me. That proves it. The bond is real." Toma didn't understand. "What bond?" "In my people's way," she explained. "A bondmate is someone your soul recognizes before your mind does. I saw your face before I even knew your name." Toma blinked. "You must be confused. We just met." Alari smiled gently. "To you, yes, but I felt your mind the moment you touched mine." The doctors told Toma to be careful. Alari had been through a trauma. She might not be thinking clearly. Still, she didn't seem mad or dangerous. She spoke with kindness, and her presence was peaceful. Every time she looked at him, it felt like she already knew him. Over the next few days, Alari began to recover. She walked slowly, her injuries healing. She started joining Toma in the lounge and asked him questions about Earth. In return, she told him about the Talari. They didn't use spoken words to connect deeply. They used thought and emotion. Her people trained for years to form strong links, but sometimes bonds formed suddenly. She believed such bonds were rare and could not be broken. Toma wasn't sure what to believe. He liked talking to her. He liked how she smiled at him. But bondmate? That felt too big, too fast. Then strange things started happening on the station. First, the doors in Sector 4 opened and closed without commands. Then, the lights flickered across the science wing. Toma checked the systems with the engineer, but everything looked normal. No sign of hacks. No malfunctions in the hardware. One night, the communications system went dark for 5 minutes. When it came back online, several files were missing from the research drive. The head technician blamed a glitch. Others began to whisper about sabotage. Toma asked Alari if she knew anything. She looked serious. "I feel something," she said. "A pressure in the mind. Not mine. Not yours. Something else. Watching." He asked what she meant. "There are thoughts that do not belong," she said. "If they grow stronger, someone will be taken." "Taken by what?" he asked. Alari looked at him with fear in her eyes. The Hive. Toma had heard stories. The Hive was a parasite species that invaded minds. It could take control of a body and make it do things the real person would never choose. The Hive didn't speak with words. It spread through thoughts, whispers, and fear. The Union had fought them long ago and claimed victory. But now, Alari believed they were back. Toma wanted to trust her, but part of him still wasn't sure. She had just recovered from a crash. Maybe she was still dreaming. Maybe the strange events on the station had another cause. But late one night, he was walking past the observation deck. He saw Alari standing alone, staring out into space. Her lips were moving, but there was no sound. He stepped closer and called her name. She didn't turn. Then he saw it. Her eyes had a faint green glow. He stepped back. Something was very wrong. And deep inside, he felt the first spark of fear. Toma stood frozen at the doorway of the observation deck. Alari didn't seem to notice him. Her body remained still, hands by her side, lips moving in silence. The green glow in her eyes flickered gently, like a dim flame. He called her name. Again, louder this time. "Alari." Slowly, she turned to face him. The glow vanished, and her expression changed. Her eyes looked tired, her face pale. She tilted her head. "Toma? Why are you here?" He stepped closer, careful not to frighten her. "I was just passing by. You looked different." Alari frowned. "I don't remember coming here." "You were speaking," Toma said. She looked confused. "I was? I don't remember saying anything." Toma nodded, trying to stay calm. "Maybe you were sleepwalking." "Maybe," she said, but her voice didn't sound sure. "I've had strange dreams. Voices I don't know. Places I've never seen. I thought they were just memories from the crash." Toma wanted to believe her. He still remembered what the doctors had said. Trauma could cause memory gaps. But the glow in her eyes, that was real. That wasn't a dream. He helped her back to the med bay. The doctors checked her again. Her brain scans looked fine. Her vitals were normal. They said she needed more rest, but Toma couldn't rest. That night, he reviewed the security logs. He looked through every camera recording from the last 2 days. In 3 separate clips, Alari was seen walking into restricted areas. She didn't touch anything. She didn't steal anything. But she stood still in each place for several minutes, staring at nothing. Toma showed the footage to Commander Rel, the head of the station. Rel watched quietly. "She could be scouting for someone," he said. "Or she could be under influence." "You mean Hive control," Toma said. Rel nodded. "We've seen it before. In rare cases, Hive spores stay dormant until the host feels safe. Then they activate." "Can't we test for that?" Toma asked. "We did," Rel said. "Our scanners didn't detect anything. But that doesn't mean it's not there. The Hive is smart. They evolve. They hide." Toma didn't sleep that night. He kept thinking about Alari. Her voice. Her eyes. The strange way she spoke of the bond. What if it wasn't her talking? What if something inside her wanted to get close to him for another reason? The next morning, Toma went to the hangar. He needed space to think. He sat inside his small ship, running checks on the systems. Suddenly, He heard soft footsteps outside. It was Alari. She stood at the ramp holding a small bundle of food. "You forgot to eat," she said with a smile. Toma took the food. "Thanks." Alari sat beside him on the ship's steps. For a while, they didn't speak. Then she said, "You don't trust me anymore?" Toma looked at her. "I don't know what to think," Alari sighed. "I feel something inside me, like a fog that comes and goes. When it's there, I lose time. I lose thoughts. But when I see you, it clears. The bond is real. It helps me remember who I am, Toma." Wanted to ask if she had ever hurt anyone, but he didn't. Alari looked at him again. The hive doesn't break in with force. It whispers. It offers peace, rest, comfort. But once it enters, it never leaves. Unless someone pulls you out. "You think I can pull you out?" Alari nodded. "You already have. Each time you look at me, I find my way back. But I'm afraid. Toma, the fog is growing stronger." Toma's hand tightened around the food tray. "We need to tell the commander. Maybe there's a deeper scan they can try," Alari agreed. They walked together to the command center. But before they could speak with Rel, the alarms went off again. This time, the problem was serious. Main power had failed in Sector 3. Backup power flickered. Data files from the science wing were gone. Engineers rushed to control panels. Scientists panicked as their work vanished from the system. Toma and Alari reached the control room. Rel stared at the screen. "There was a manual override," he said. "Someone disabled the firewalls from inside the base." Toma looked at the logs. His stomach turned. The access code used belonged to one person, Alari. Toma turned toward her, but she was already staring at the screen. Her face was pale. Her hands shook. "I didn't do that," she whispered. Rel looked at her. "Explain." "I didn't do it," she repeated. "I wasn't even near Sector 3. Security confirmed she was in the med bay during the incident. Cameras showed her sleeping, but the system still recorded her code." "The hive doesn't need a body to act," Rel said. "It can move through thought. If it got inside our systems, it can use our minds like keys." Alari looked at Toma. "Do you believe me?" Toma nodded slowly. "I want to, but we need to be sure." Rel made the decision. Alari was moved to a secured room, not a prison, but not freedom either. 2 guards stood outside. Inside, she had a bed, a table, and a monitor. Nothing else. Toma visited her that evening. Alari sat quietly, hands folded. "I don't blame them," she said. "If I were in their place, I'd do the same." "I'm trying to help," Toma said. "I know," she replied. "And I'll help you too. But hurry, the hive is not done. It's only beginning." Toma left with heavy thoughts. The base was under attack, but not with ships or weapons. This was a war of minds. And he was standing between the hive and someone he might care about more than he wanted to admit. The shadows were moving closer. For the next 2 days, the station remained quiet. No new power failures, no more missing files. But everyone walked with caution. They spoke in low voices, as if something was listening. Even the lights seemed dimmer. Toma visited Alari each day. She stayed calm, never raised her voice, never begged to be let out. But he could see the sadness in her eyes. She missed the stars. She missed the quiet connection they used to share. Now there was only distance and doubt. One evening, Toma brought her a small data pad. It had pictures of Earth. Green fields, tall cities, wide oceans. "I thought maybe it would help you feel more at home," he said. Alari smiled. "It does. Thank you." She placed a hand near the screen. "I want to see your world one day. I want to stand where the wind moves across those hills." Toma sat across from her. "We'll find a way to fix this." But just as the words left his mouth, the floor shook. A sudden tremor ran through the station. Lights flickered. Sirens rang. Toma stood up quickly. "I'll be back." He rushed to the command center. Commander Rel and the other officers were already working. Maps flashed across the screen. Power was dropping in small sections, one after another. "This isn't damage," Rel said. "Something is drawing power. Something deep inside the base." "Could it be Hive activity?" Toma asked. Rel nodded. "We've lost communication with drone systems. Cameras are going black." Toma looked at the screen. The failure pattern formed a spiral. It wasn't random. It was focused. It was spreading outward from one point. "The research core," Rel said. "They're targeting our signal array." Suddenly, a large monitor lit up with static. A sound came through the speakers, a deep, pulsing rhythm, soft but heavy. It wasn't a voice. It wasn't words. It was a frequency, a signal. Everyone in the room felt it, a low headache, a pressure in the back of the mind. One technician fainted. Another began shaking. Rel shouted for the medics. Toma held the edge of the console. His vision blurred for a moment. He closed his eyes and focused. Slowly, the pressure faded. He turned to the commander. "It's them. It's the Hive." Rel pointed to the signal display. "They've been hiding in the system, using power, lines like nerves, sending thoughts like data. They've been building this signal since the moment she arrived." Toma knew who he meant. Alari. But something didn't feel right. He had spoken to her every day. She was weak, but stable. She had no access to the system. If the Hive was growing, it was working through other ways. Still, Toma ran to her room. The guards were unconscious on the floor, their eyes open, minds blank. Toma stepped inside slowly. Alari stood near the wall, facing the corner. Her eyes were closed. Her lips moved softly. He called her name. "Alari." She didn't respond. He moved closer. Then she turned. Her eyes glowed again. Not faint this time. Bright, strong. "Toma," she said. "You shouldn't be here." "You're not in control," he said. "Fight it." She smiled, but it wasn't her smile. It was cold, empty. "There is no fight," she said. "You are mine. You always were." Toma stepped back. Alari raised her hand. A wave of pressure hit him like wind. It wasn't physical, but it knocked him down. His mind shook. Voices echoed in his head. "You will join us," the voice said through her. "You will see peace. You will stop being afraid." Toma clenched his fists. "This isn't you. I know the real Alari." The pressure increased. But Toma remembered her voice before the signal. The soft way she spoke about Earth, the way she held the data pad. He spoke again. "You said you wanted to feel the wind on the hills. You said the bond helped you remember who you are. You're not them. You're stronger than this." For a moment, her body trembled. The green glow in her eyes faded just slightly. She blinked. "Toma, I'm sorry," but the Hive pulled her back. She lunged at him. He rolled aside, reached for the emergency shock baton near the door. It was standard for close combat. Not deadly, but strong enough to knock someone out. He didn't want to hurt her, but he didn't want to die either. She charged again. He struck. The baton sparked against her shoulder. She screamed. Not like Alari, like something else. Something not meant to live. She fell to the floor, body twitching. Toma dropped to his knees, breathing hard. Medics arrived. Guards followed. Alari was taken to a sealed chamber, her body placed in stasis. Rel spoke with Toma later. "She was fully under Hive control," he said. "We found traces in her neural scans. They were buried deep, hidden from our tech. She may have been infected before we even found her." Toma sat in silence. "But we believe there's more," Rel said. "That signal, it wasn't just for control. It was a beacon." "A message," Toma said. Rel nodded. A message to others. The Hive is out there. And now they know where we are. Toma looked through the window into space. A dark sky stretched. Forever. Somewhere out there, the real enemy waited, and the war had only just begun. The lights in Outpost 9 stayed dim after the Hive signal attack. Engineers worked day and night, trying to fix the power lines and security doors. Scientists searched for hidden code inside the system. Everyone felt nervous. Something had changed. The base didn't feel safe anymore. Toma sat alone in the empty hangar. He stared at the cold metal floor. His body was fine, but his thoughts were not. The image of Alari standing with glowing green eyes haunted him. Her voice, mixed with the Hive, echoed in his mind. She had looked at him and called him hers. Not with love, but with control. He still remembered the day he first saw her, half broken inside that alien ship. He remembered how she said he was her bondmate. Now she had tried to kill him. The doctors kept her body in stasis, but her mind was still active. The Hive presence inside her brain had not been fully removed. The scientists said it was dangerous to wake her. Commander Rel called. A meeting in the control room. Officers, medics, and researchers gathered. "We found something strange," Rel said. Before Alari attacked, she entered a locked section of our network. She uploaded a full copy of the base map and sent it into deep space. One officer spoke up. "So the Hive now knows our structure." Rel nodded. "Not just our structure. They also have communication logs, research files, and movement reports from our patrols." A heavy silence followed. Toma stepped forward. "Can I see her?" Rel looked at him. "Why would you want that?" "I think she's still in there," Toma said. "The Hive used her, but part of her is still fighting. I felt it when she spoke to me. She said sorry. That wasn't the Hive." "That was her." Rel crossed his arms. "She almost killed you." "She also warned us before any of this started," Toma said. "She told me the Hive was near. She tried to resist. We can't give up on her now." The room stayed quiet for a moment. Then Rel said, "We'll allow one link, one attempt, no promises." Inside the medical chamber, Alari floated in the stasis field. Her body didn't move, but her brain waves were active. The scanner showed two different patterns. One belonged to her. The other was foreign. The scientists used Talari technology stored in Union labs. It was a mental bridge, a tool used for safe telepathic connection. Toma had to wear a headband with a small crystal core. Wires linked the device to Alari's mind. "You will feel what she feels," the technician said. "If she's still inside, you'll find her. But if the Hive takes over, we will pull you out in 20 seconds. Toma took a deep breath. "I'm ready." The device activated. Light flashed before his eyes. The room vanished. He found himself standing in a wide field. But the sky was black. The wind was cold. The trees around him looked twisted like bones. It was a mind world, shaped by thoughts and memories. Then he heard her voice. "Toma." He turned. Alari stood near a cracked stone wall. Her clothes were torn. Her hair was dull, but her eyes were clear. Not glowing, not empty, just tired. "You came," she said. "I had to," he said. "Are you hurt?" She touched her head. "Not my body, just my thoughts. The Hive is here. It's trying to erase me piece by piece. It shows me fake memories, fake feelings. But when I think of you, I remember the truth." Toma stepped closer. "I saw what it made you do, but I believe you didn't want it. I know you," Alari nodded. "I tried to fight. I blocked some commands. I slowed its growth, but now it's angry." Suddenly, the ground shook. A dark shape rose from behind the wall. It had no face, no voice, only long arms and endless shadows. The Hive form towered above them. "You cannot break the bond," it said with a deep echo. You are part of us now. Alari stepped in front of Toma. No, I choose my bond. I choose him, the Hive growled. He is weak. He is alone. He cannot stop us. Toma spoke firmly. I'm human. That means I don't give up. Not on her. Not on anyone. The Hive form struck at him. A wave of black smoke crashed toward him, but Alari raised her hands. A light formed between them, soft and blue. It came from deep inside her mind. Toma felt it too. A warmth. A memory. It was the moment she first smiled at him. The day they laughed in the lounge. The time she held the Earth pictures close to her heart. All those moments built the light. Together, Alari shouted, This is my mind, not yours! The light exploded. The Hive form screamed and broke apart. The sky turned blue. The field turned green. The connection broke. Toma opened his eyes back in the real world. The scanner showed only one brainwave pattern now. Just Alari. She opened her eyes slowly. Her body was weak, but her voice was clear. You pulled me out, she whispered. Toma smiled. You helped me find the way. The scientists confirmed it. The Hive trace was gone from her mind. She had burned it out from within. But before it vanished, it had sent one last message into space, a beacon, a signal to others. The Hive was coming, not just one voice, a whole chorus. Alari sat up with help. They will not stop, she said, but now we know how to fight. Toma nodded. Then we'll be ready. And for the first time in days, the station felt quiet, not because the danger was over, but because they had hope. The next morning, the halls of Outpost 9 were silent. Everyone had heard the news. Alari was free from Hive control. The doctors confirmed it. Scans showed no trace of the parasite in her mind, but no one was smiling. No one felt safe. That was because the Hive had sent a signal before it died. A final pulse. A message into deep space. Now the base waited for what might come next. Toma stood outside the medbay, arms crossed. Inside, Alari rested on a medical bed. Her skin looked pale but calm. She was breathing softly. He watched her for a moment before stepping in. You should be resting, he said. Alari looked up. I've rested enough. Toma pulled a chair and sat beside her. How much do you remember? Most of it, she said. Some parts are foggy, but I remember the signal. I remember the Hive trying to speak through me. And I remember you entering my mind. That gave me the strength to fight. Toma looked serious. I think you gave yourself the strength. I only reminded you who you are. Alari smiled faintly. Then her face turned serious. That signal was more than just a cry for help. It was a door. It opened something. Toma nodded. You mean other hives might be coming? Not just coming, Alari said. They might already be near, hiding, watching, waiting for the right moment to take over. Commander Rel entered the room. His eyes moved between the two. The Union has sent word, he said. They want Alari transferred to Central Command for full study. They want to understand how she survived Hive control. Alari didn't look surprised. They don't trust me. They're afraid, Toma said. And maybe they should be. We've never seen anyone survive a Hive link before. But I didn't survive alone, Alari said. The bond between us made it possible. That connection gave me focus. It gave me a way to hold on to my own thoughts. Rel looked thoughtful. Then maybe that bond can be used again. On others who are infected, Toma stood up. Are you saying we try to save more Hive victims using the same mind link method? Rel nodded. If it worked once, it might work again. But we need to understand the process. We can't risk more lives without knowing the risks, Alari agreed. Then let me try. But not with someone infected. Let me go back into my own mind first. Alone. The Hive left scars. If I can understand them, maybe I can find a way to break them faster next time. Rel didn't argue. He gave permission. Later that evening, Alari sat in the neural chair again. This time, no one else connected. She entered her own mind space, without help. The team watched from the outside. Toma stood beside the glass, his eyes fixed on her still form. Inside her mind, the sky was quiet. The field was empty. The trees were green again. But far in the distance, a single black shape floated, small, silent, watching. Alari walked toward it. As she got closer, she felt a cold wind. Not real wind. A memory of fear. The shape spoke. "You burned one voice," it said. "But we are. Many," Alari answered with a calm voice. "You are broken. You hide because you fear strength. You fear connection. You fear the bond." The Hive memory hissed. "The bond is weakness. Emotion is noise. We are unity. We are peace. You are control," she said. "You are silence without freedom. That is not peace." She reached toward the shape. It tried to move, but her mind was stronger now. She surrounded it with blue light. Her own thoughts, her memories, her voice. The shape shook, then shattered like glass. Alari opened her eyes in the real world. Toma rushed to her side. "What did you see?" he asked. "An echo," she said. "A leftover piece of the Hive, but it tried to speak again. It tried to spread. Even as a memory, it wanted to take more." Toma looked at her closely. "Do you feel different?" "Yes," she said. "Stronger, clearer. The Hive works like a shadow. It hides inside weakness. But if we shine enough light, it breaks." Rel entered. "Then we use your mind as a map. We find the pattern. We train others to fight from inside, not with weapons, but with focus and will." That night, Alari and Toma sat under the stars. The station's gravity dome showed a clear view of space. The stars looked peaceful again, though everyone knew the peace was temporary. Toma leaned back. "When I first found you, I didn't believe in bonds. I thought it was just a dream you were holding on to." "And now?" Alari asked. Toma looked at her. "Now I believe it saved both of us." Alari reached for his hand. "The Hive doesn't understand what it means to care. That's why it loses. Every time it meets real connection, it breaks." They sat quietly, side by side. The stars above did not move, but somewhere beyond them, the real Hive was waiting, and soon the war would reach all of them. The days after Alari's return to consciousness were filled with quiet work and careful planning. Outpost 9 felt alive again, but the weight of what was coming kept the air heavy. Toma spent much of his time with Alari. Their bond, once uncertain, had grown stronger. He could see the light in her eyes return, a light that was not just from her own strength, but from their connection. The Union fleet sent messages. Reinforcements were on the way. But time was short. The Hive was no longer just a distant threat. It was closing in. One evening, the base's comm system picked up a strange signal. Unlike before, this was not a faint pulse. It was a voice, calm, deep, and cold. The voice spoke directly into the minds of everyone on the station. "You have a choice," it said. "Submit and join us. Gain peace and purpose beyond your wildest dreams, or resist and be destroyed. Your fight is futile." Alari stood beside Toma in the command center. Her eyes narrowed as the voice echoed in the room. "They want to break us," she said. "But they don't understand the bond. They don't understand humanity." Commander Rel turned to her. "Can you reach inside their signal? Can you fight it?" Alari looked at Toma. "I can try, but I will need your help." Toma nodded without hesitation. "I'm with you. Scientists prepared the neural link again. This time it was different. They weren't just trying to save Alari from the Hive. They were going to enter the Hive's signal, the source of the attack. With the device activated, Toma and Alari's minds connected. The room faded away. They found themselves in a strange place, dark and endless. A sea of shadows moved and shifted, whispering with thousands of voices. The Hive's mind. From the darkness, a tall figure appeared. It had no face, only a smooth black surface. Its voice was the same calm tone from the message. "You think your bond can save you," it said. "But it is a chain, a weakness that binds you to pain and loss." Alari stepped forward. "The bond is strength. It is hope. You will never understand." The figure moved closer. "Your mind is fragile. You cannot protect what you cannot see." Toma felt a cold pressure in his thoughts. The shadows tried to pull at him, to separate him from Alari. He reached out. "We are stronger together." Alari closed her eyes and focused. A soft blue light grew between them, pushing the shadows back. The Hive's whispers grew louder, trying to drown out the light. The tall figure raised its arms, and the shadows formed sharp shapes, striking at Toma and Alari, but the bond held. The light grew brighter, surrounding them like a shield. The Hive's voice became desperate. "Join us, or be destroyed! There is no escape!" Alari shouted. "We choose freedom!" Suddenly, the light exploded outward. The shadows screamed and shattered. The dark sea vanished. Toma and Alari found themselves back in the medbay. The neural link device powered down. Toma gasped for breath. Alari looked at him with tired eyes but smiled. "We did it," she said. "The Hive tried to break us, but the bond was too strong." Commander Rel entered the room. "Your victory sent a pulse through our sensors. The Hive signal is weakening." Alari nodded. "They will retreat, for now. But they will return." Toma stood beside her. "Then we will be ready." The bond between them was no longer just a connection. It was a promise. To fight, to protect, and to never give up. Outside the station, the stars shone quietly. But the war was far from over. The sun was setting over Outpost 9, casting long shadows across the cold metal walls. The station was quieter now, but the people inside were not at peace. Everyone knew the Hive would return. Their arrival was only a matter of time. Toma stood on the observation deck, staring into the dark vastness of space. Beside him, Alari watched the stars with a calm that seemed stronger than the night around them. "You think we can win?" Toma asked quietly. Alari turned to him, her eyes reflecting the distant light of a nearby star. "We have to. We survived because of the bond. The Hive does not understand it. They see connection as weakness. But it is our greatest strength," Toma said. "It gave us hope when everything else was lost." They had trained together for weeks since their battle in the Hive's mind. Alari had become a symbol for the Union forces, proof that the Hive could be fought from within. Her bond with Toma was unique. It allowed them to share thoughts and feelings instantly. When one faltered, the other was there to lift them up. The Union fleet had arrived. Ships from many worlds gathered to prepare for the coming war. Toma and Alari were assigned to the flagship, a powerful cruiser named the Horizon. Their mission was clear: find the Hive's source and destroy it before it spread further. On board the Horizon, Toma and Alari trained every day. The ship's halls echoed with the sounds of drills and commands. Scientists worked on new devices to strengthen the mind link. Soldiers prepared weapons designed to fight both physical and mental attacks. One evening, after hours of training, Toma and Alari found themselves alone in the ship's small garden dome. The air smelled of fresh plants and warm soil. It was a rare place of peace. Alari reached out and took Toma's hand. No matter what happens, we face it together. Toma squeezed her hand. I promise. We will protect each other. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship. Red lights flashed. The captain's voice came over the speakers. Unknown Hive vessels detected. All personnel, prepare for combat. Toma and Alari rushed to the command center. The view screen showed dark shapes moving through space. The Hive ships were unlike anything the Union had seen. They were alive, twisting, and shifting with a strange energy. We have to stop them before they reach inhabited worlds, the captain ordered. Toma and Alari sat side by side in the command chairs, their minds connected instantly, sharing strategy and warnings. The battle began. The Hive ships fired strange beams of energy. The crew responded with shields and lasers. The fight was fierce. But Toma and Alari's bond gave them an edge. They could anticipate moves, warn each other of danger, and stay calm under pressure. At one point, a Hive ship sent a mental wave. It tried to break into the minds of the crew. Soldiers froze, their eyes glassy. Alari raised her hands. A blue light spread from her, pushing the mental attack back. The crew shook off the control and returned fire. Toma admired her strength. You're amazing. Alari smiled. We fight not just with weapons, but with the mind. The bond is our shield. After hours of battle, the Hive ships began to retreat. The Union fleet followed, determined to find their home. Toma and Alari stood on the bridge, watching the dark shapes disappear into the stars. We won this fight, Toma said, but the war is far from over. Alari nodded. We will face many challenges, but together we are stronger. Days later, the horizon reached a distant system. Sensors picked up a Hive mind center on a small moon. The fleet prepared to land. Toma and Alari led the ground team. They stepped onto the rocky surface, their boots kicking up dust. The air was thick with an eerie silence. Ahead, the Hive. Structures pulsed with dark energy. The Hive mind was strong here. Alari held Toma's hand. Ready? He nodded. Together. Inside the Hive, the shadows twisted and moved. The Hive's voice echoed in their minds. You are fools to enter, it said. The bond means nothing here. But Toma and Alari walked forward, their bond glowing brighter. The battle inside the Hive was unlike any other. The Hive attacked with shadows, illusions, and mental traps. But the bond kept Toma and Alari steady. They fought through the darkness, breaking the Hive's hold piece by piece. At the heart of the Hive, they found the source, a massive, pulsating core of dark energy. Alari stepped forward. This ends now. Together, they linked minds, sending a wave of blue light into the core. The Hive screamed and shattered. The dark energy dissolved into nothing. Outside, the fleet cheered. The Hive threat was broken. For now. Toma looked at Alari, breathless and smiling. We did it, she smiled back. Because of the bond. Because of us. Their journey was far from over. The universe was vast and new dangers awaited. But they knew one truth. Together, they were unstoppable.